What is up, y'all? Welcome back to another video. I took a pretty long break with this YouTube stuff. Maybe you noticed my hair grew out a little bit longer. Been growing that out. But I wanted to talk about something that's been sort of helping me throughout life a lot lately, which was finding the innocence in everyone around you, and especially yourself. I'm gonna give you guys a real life example and then further break it down on what I mean by innocence. What does that even mean, right? So hardware, we are all the same consciousness. We are all love. We are all part of God. But software, which is the beliefs, the emotions, the patterns, the thoughts, that whatever else is in the mix of your subconscious or your life, this software is what tainted this hardware. The hardware is still there, it's just covered by the software. I want you to think of it like that. That's how I learned it. And so whenever you see somebody who is doing maybe prideful stuff, they're trying to protect their image, or they're trying to make people feel worse about themselves because they themselves feel bad. It's just a way that they have grown up. It's the way that they survive. It's the way this ego inside of them, the software, or you want to call it, yeah, pretty much the ego is the software. It's what taints you. It's what keeps you scared, angry, in the slower states of mind. All right? That's how it feeds. I think that's what I was getting at. Anyway, let me give you an example. So, um, my baby sister, I have a baby sister named Aria, then I have a younger one named Jocelyn. Not younger than Aria, but she's between me and Aria. And I call her baby. She's 5 now, but she's always going to be the little one, you know? And one thing I noticed about her a lot is that she craves attention, whether it's from my parents, whether it's from me, whether it's from my sister. And oftentimes I catch myself or my sister or my mom or my dad, anybody, criticizing her, calling her out, saying, hey, why do you want attention so bad? Why are you so affectionate? Like, well, of course we show affection to her. We're not like neglecting her, but there's times where she does it too much. Maybe she throws on a song and does a performance for us. She's like, hey, look at me, but we just don't really want to. Or there's times where she just wants to make everything about herself. And it's this sort of needing of validation, needing of attention, needing of the sense of worth from people around her. And so now I have finally saw that as, well, it's just the way she's grown up to see the world. It's a reflection of all of us at the end of the day, because, well, she didn't come into this world needing validation. She didn't come into this world needing all these things to feel whole, to feel like she's enough. And so I questioned myself. I was like, well, do I see myself craving attention, craving validation from others? And I do. There's an inner Aria in me, my mom, my sister, my dad, just because it's just the way we taught her how to live. Now it's not as obvious, but it might as well be. Because, well, as we grow up, we grow this sort of immunity, or this sort of matureness, you could say, that hides the baby in us. There's still an inner Aria inside of me. Maybe there's an inner Aria inside of you. I say that funnily. That's my little sister. But that needing of validation can come in different senses. Oftentimes, I like to take credit for things I've done. Let's say someone's like, hey, I worked out today. I read a book today and I meditated. I'm like, I've been doing that for 2 years now. I make myself feel better. I make myself feel superior, but I'm needing that validation. It's like I'm trying to shun them down to make myself feel superior. And oftentimes I see my sister doing that, and I criticize her. My mom's criticized her. Everyone criticizes her. But at the end of the day, we all do it ourselves, because what we see in others is only what we see in ourselves. I hope I'm recording. Good, just making sure. But yeah, what we see in others is what we see in ourselves. So as I was appalled by this sort of discovery, I mean, I've always seen it, I've always noticed it. I never really realized how important it was to see the hardware and missed all that software. I hope you guys understand the example now. I might have gone too deep with it, but I like this topic because it kind of helps me understand people a lot more. When I criticize people, or I see people doing something in my perception of life, it's my perception. It's my own ego. Despite if they actually mean it that way, it doesn't really matter. But I can find the innocence in them. The innocence is the hardware. The innocence is the inner consciousness, the presence, the God, the Holy Spirit, whatever you want to call it, inside of them. So let's say I do see Aria, again, craving attention. I can understand her. I can say, hey, I understand where you're coming. I don't say it to her, but in my mind, I can sort of feel it. And maybe I give it the attention. Or maybe I bypass it a little bit. Maybe I handle it in a different way. But instead of me criticizing her internally, which internally she will feel, I can then instead internally accept her, understand her, and still love her for who she is because, again, she's just a baby. She doesn't know. And there's a baby inside of every single one of us. And so let's say it's not Aria, let's say it's my mom, or my sister, or my friends that I see them acting prideful, or needing validation, or even nervous, or fearful, or overthinking. I can look past those things and accept and show compassion and understanding inside my heart, inside my mind, towards them. And that's what I mean by finding inner innocence. Because the more you can do that to other people, the more you can realize, hey, that's the same thing in me. That same software that I see in them is the same software I see in myself. That's the only reason why I could see it. And so then you let go of it yourself. The innocence, you find the innocence, the presence, the present moment, God, the Holy Spirit, that inner flare inside of you to deflect, to detach, to let go of, to disidentify yourself with that software. Because we all have that hardware, but we have the software again. I know I mentioned this a million times, but it's covering the hardware. It's shadowing it. The ego is what's controlling us. And I can go a little deeper into the ego if you allow it. The ego is what feeds off those emotions. The neediness, the craving, the desire, the validation, the sorrow, the feeling bad for yourself, making yourself the prized possession, whatever. And the reason why it does is because it makes you live in your head. It makes you feel these negative emotions. It makes you worry about the next time it happens. It makes you relive past events and regrets because it wants you to live in your head. As soon as you live in this present moment, which is where the hardware is most, I say hardware, but the present moment is, where God is, where whatever you want to call it is, then the software loses, the ego loses. All those limitations, those programs, those needings for things simply go away. They vanish because you have surrendered it to what's true. You surrendered it to what's in all of us, to infinite, the presence, the knowingness, the trust, the faith. If you can re-encode your mind to submit to the hardware stuff and let go of the software, let go of the thoughts, let go of the emotions, then you can find the innocence in yourself. You can find the innocence in other. You can stop looking at people and criticizing them, and instead you can not criticize yourself, but let those things run. Let those programs run. Understand that they are a part of you as well. And this ego doesn't have to run your life anymore. And so the reason why I say I feel like it's changed my life a lot is because now whenever I have conflicts with people, I am a lot less, I don't say it as much. I don't speak my mind as much. I notice it goes a lot in my head, and if I attach myself to my thoughts, which we are not, then yes, I'm still doing the same thing as if I'm yelling. But I'm starting to build this pattern to just let those things go. The assumptions, hey, this guy's acting prideful, or Arya's being annoying, or Arya's seeking attention. It may be true, it may not be. But if I can see the innocence in her, that's all that matters. If I can understand she's part of me, that's all that matters. And boom, this goes for anything. Then let's say I do something out of the ordinary. I do something inside my ego. Instead of falling back on myself and regretting it or fearing I'll do it in the future, I can then instead let go of it and grow. It's hard. It's hard letting go of your thoughts. It's hard letting go of those things that constantly feel like it's keeping you alive, worrying about money, worrying about the next bill, worrying about your next exam or work period or your boss or coworkers or whatever it is. But I understand what you see in others, what you see in yourself. And I believe you can become a lot more aware of what keeps conflicting you inside your mind. Then and only then, you'll begin to unravel the software, unravel this ego, and start to let go of what's holding you back from finding your true self in this present moment. So the more and more you can get out your mind, the more and more you can live here, now, because this is all we have, the less and less this ego controls you. The less you live in this strife, this conflict, this constant needing for something outside of you to make you feel better inside. I hope this helps. One of my favorite videos. I've been wanting to talk about this for a little bit. And yeah, any questions, you let me know. I have my socials in my bio. Maybe I'll put it in the description. I don't know, but it's DAY Talks, Daydaytalkss on either Instagram or social on TikTok. I think one of them is 2 S's, but I'm sure you'll find it. I'm sure you'll be guided. Other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed. I gotta run to this call, which is something I have mentally been avoiding myself, but I realized it and I was like, I gotta just accept it. I had to do it, and boom, I moved past it. So wish me luck. Hope this helps, guys, and God bless.